Gather round, friends, for the tale of King Baldwin the Fourth of Jerusalem, a ruler born not only into royalty, but also into adversity. His story unfolds in the crucible of the 12th century Crusades, a saga of conflict, courage, and the resilience of a young king who faced the world with a debilitating disease and yet managed to leave an indelible mark on history. Known as the Leper King, Baldwin IV's reign over the Crusader kingdom was shaped by ceaseless trials and triumphs, marked by a depth of character that transcended his physical limitations. Early life, the making of a king. In the year 1161, in the vibrant city of Jerusalem, Baldwin IV was born into the House of Anjou, a lineage of kings and warriors. From a young age, he was enveloped in a world where the air buzzed with political intrigue and the clashing of swords. The kingdom he was born into was a bastion of Christian power in a predominantly Muslim region, a realm carved out by the First Crusade, and maintained through constant vigilance and battle. Tragedy touched Baldwin early. Diagnosed with leprosy as a child, he faced a future filled with uncertainty and pain. Leprosy, a disease that could ravage the body and lead to severe disfigurement and societal ostracism, was poorly understood at the time and often seen as a divine curse. However, Baldwin's royal status provided him with the best care available, and his education was not neglected. Tutored by the finest minds, including the historian and cleric William of Tyre, Baldwin was schooled in languages, theology, military tactics, and the intricate art of governance. These early lessons forged in him a sharp intellect and a steely resolve, qualities that would define his reign. Ascension and challenges. Baldwin ascended to the throne in 1174, at the tender age of 13, after the death of his father Amalric I. His coronation was both a magnificent and solemn affair, attended by the knights, barons, and clergy, who eyed the young king with a mixture of hope and concern. The realm needed a strong ruler to fend off external threats and maintain the fragile alliances within the kingdom. Baldwin's youth and illness would be tested by fire. From the outset of his reign, Baldwin showed a maturity beyond his years. He quickly took charge, displaying a keen understanding of the political landscape. His court was a labyrinth of ambitions and alliances, and he navigated this maze with an astute judgment that often surprised his older, more experienced advisors. The warrior king emerges. Baldwin's mettle as a military leader was soon put to the test. The kingdom faced its greatest threat from Saladin, the Sultan of Egypt and Syria, a brilliant strategist and leader who sought to unify the Muslim territories and push back against the Crusader states. The young king's first significant military challenge came in 1177 at the Battle of Montgisard. Here, Baldwin, despite his physical frailty, led from the front. Against overwhelming odds, and with Saladin's army vastly outnumbering his own, Baldwin achieved a stunning victory that was as unexpected as it was decisive. This battle was a testament to his tactical genius and served to solidify his reputation as a courageous and capable leader. Leadership amidst adversity. As Baldwin's reign progressed, so too did his disease. His body weakened and his appearance changed, but his resolve never faltered. He continued to lead with vigor, often appearing in public covered in bandages, a visible symbol of his personal battles. His condition evoked sympathy, but also immense respect from his subjects and even his enemies. Internally, Baldwin's court was not without its challenges. His sister Sibylla's marriage to Guy of Lusignan was a source of contention. Guy was a divisive figure, seen by many as lacking the virtue and leadership necessary to govern. Baldwin managed these tensions with a careful, sometimes heavy hand, always prioritizing the stability and security of his kingdom. The legacy of the leper. King Baldwin's health deteriorated rapidly in his final years, leading him to make provisions for succession that he hoped would secure a peaceful future for Jerusalem. He named his nephew Baldwin V as his successor, with Raymond III of Tripoli serving as regent, a decision aimed at countering Guy of Lusignan's influence. King Baldwin IV died in 1185 at the age of 24. His death marked the end of a reign that, though brief, was profoundly impactful. He had led his kingdom through some of its most perilous years with a combination of boldness and wisdom that belied his youth and physical condition. His legacy, characterized by his leadership during one of the most turbulent periods in the history of the Crusades, continues to be celebrated for its heroic defiance and strategic brilliance. As the embers of our campfire flicker and fade, let us remember Baldwin IV not merely as a king afflicted by disease, but as a ruler who, despite severe personal and political challenges, displayed an unwavering spirit and an acute sense of duty. His story is a poignant reminder of the indomitable human spirit's capacity to confront and transcend adversity. Raise your glasses to Baldwin IV, the extraordinary Leper King, whose life and legacy continue to inspire and resonate through the ages. As our campfire burns brightly, let us continue the tale of Baldwin IV, the Leper King, delving deeper into his reign, the strategic challenges he faced, and the complex legacy he left behind, a legacy shaped by both his unparalleled courage and the turbulent times in which he lived. The struggle for stability. After the stunning victory at Montgisard, Baldwin IV's reputation as a capable and brave ruler was solidified, but the kingdom's challenges were far from over. Saladin, ever the astute and determined leader, was not a foe to be underestimated. He retreated to regroup and reorganize, his respect for Baldwin growing, but his resolve to reclaim Jerusalem undiminished. Meanwhile, Baldwin had to prepare his kingdom for the inevitable renewed assaults, while also grappling with his deteriorating health. The burden of Baldwin's disease became increasingly visible. He was often in pain, and his physical abilities were in decline. However, his sharp mind remained untouched by the physical afflictions that ravaged his body. Baldwin continued to make public appearances, inspiring his people by his mere presence. A king who, despite his frailty, stood as a bastion against formidable enemies. Governance and diplomacy. Baldwin's rule was marked not only by military engagements, but also by his diplomatic efforts to stabilize and strengthen his kingdom. He understood that true leadership required both the sword and the olive branch. Baldwin's court was a vibrant center of political intrigue, with various factions vying for power and influence. Navigating this treacherous landscape required a delicate balance of firmness and tact. Baldwin sought to fortify his realm not just through battle, but also by building alliances and fostering loyalty among his nobles. He was known for his fairness and his ability to listen, qualities that endeared him to many of his subjects and helped maintain a semblance of stability within the diverse and often fractious population of his kingdom. The legacy of warfare. The ongoing conflict with Saladin took a central role in the latter years of Baldwin's reign. The Muslim leader launched several well-planned campaigns to weaken Baldwin's hold, each time testing the young king's resolve and strategic prowess. Baldwin responded with a series of defensive maneuvers and counterattacks, managing to hold Saladin at bay, despite the overwhelming challenges posed by his disease and the external pressures from neighboring Muslim states. One of Baldwin's significant strategies included reinforcing the fortifications of key cities and outposts. He understood that the survival of the Crusader kingdom depended on its ability to withstand sieges and maintain supply lines. Baldwin's foresight in military architecture and city planning during this period contributed significantly to the kingdom's defense capabilities. The twilight years and the end of an era. As his disease progressed, Baldwin's ability to govern was increasingly hampered by his physical limitations. His visibility at court and on the battlefield diminished, and he began to rely more heavily on his advisors and knights to carry out the day-to-day governance and military operations. This reliance on others inevitably led to power struggles within his court, as different factions saw an opportunity to increase their influence. Aware of the fragility of his health and the stability of his kingdom, Baldwin made careful plans for succession. He appointed his nephew, Baldwin V, a child, as his successor, with the regency held by Raymond III of Tripoli, a choice intended to safeguard the future of Jerusalem and maintain the balance of power among the nobility. King Baldwin IV died in 1185, his young life cut short by leprosy, but his legacy as a wise, brave, and resilient leader endured. He had navigated his kingdom through some of its most perilous years, leaving behind a realm that, while beset by external threats and internal strife, remembered him as a ruler who had faced every challenge with unwavering courage and acute intelligence. As the night deepens and our fire continues to crackle, let us reflect on the life of Baldwin IV, a king whose reign was a testament to the strength of the human spirit in the face of adversity. His story, marked by brilliant victories, painful struggles, and profound humanity, remains a powerful testament to the complexities of leadership and the enduring impact of a courageous heart. Good night.